What's going on, everybody? Cuffing the Dip coming at you guys with another one, guys. Please excuse the hat. As I told CryptoBolix, guys, I ended up riding my bike a little bit earlier, so I had a little bit of hat hair, so I'm hiding it under the hat. It'll be all good for the next stream up. So, guys, just love me with the hat today. How are you guys feeling today? Hopefully everybody's feeling good. I see we got a lot of good people in the building as usual, and I definitely love to see all of these good faces. And we got multiple Bolix supporters. I see you out here. We got Selmo Fudd. Happy birthday, Cuff, Virgo season. I definitely appreciate that. So, guys, without further ado, we're gonna get the guest of honor on here. We're gonna ask some good questions here. We're going to go over some good things, man, and break down what's been going on lately. So let's go ahead and get them on. What's going on?
Did you see me in the back?
Yes, I did.
I'm just trolling you, man. I'm sorry.
I'm ready.
Oh. How you been?
Pretty good, man. I can't complain at all, man. How have you been?
I have been so good. Can I tell you something?
Sure, of course. What's going on?
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Definitely appreciate that, man.
You just turned 21?
Man, it looks like that. I got the mustache trimmed a bit, so it does look like I'm a little youthful, but unfortunately in the 30s there. So, ooh.
I hear that, buddy. I hear that. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Audio is pretty good. Let me know you guys is in. What's going on with the audio? Is the audio good out there? Let me know. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So we've said the hellos. I am very, very interested because I feel like it's like the elephant in the room, man. I've been following Bolix token for a little bit, and I'm curious as to what's been going on, but I do have specific questions where I feel like I kind of want to break things down for either newer investors that are looking at the Bolix token or people that have questions about the project at all, period. So if you don't mind running through a couple of those, we can definitely touch on some different things. I think the first place that I kind of want to start, just because it's I feel like it's a good entry point, and it's where we entered the project. So can you describe to me what exactly is the purpose of this NFT collection?
The purpose of the NFT collection was a few things. One, the airdrops of the tokens, right? But when we first started it, it was just, we said it was just the key. Essentially just a key to something that could be awesome, right? I couldn't disclose what it was solely because there were too many manipulating individuals out there that would buy in private sale, dump on projects, and rinse and repeat, which is tough. A lot of people, they want their tokens right away, but it's just not really the proper way to do it. Especially if you're trying to raise funds to do it essentially the right way. The last thing I want to do is hurt somebody and hurt new investors when they come in. So, giving the private sellers or people that bought into these Rambo clouds that first hit, one, they had that opportunity, but two, we had to make sure it was still safe for other investors. So the purpose of these were actually a key to unlock airdrops from our 10 token ecosystem that will be built over time. It'll start with the second NFT set and the second token. But initially you'll have to own this Genesis set, which will drive the Ethereum price on these up, which if you look right now, it's nearly almost, the floor price is almost 3 times what we had minted them at. Almost. No, 2 times. It's 100% 2 times what it was when we first minted these. And if you look at the activity also shows that it's been trading right around that point. meaning that people are actually buying these and selling these at a good rate. So if you look at, yeah, see, very, very good. We've done well. We had one sell at 0.165. Somebody put an offer and maybe somebody needs some money, but 0.02. Somebody stole one right here. You can see somebody stole one for 0.055. I'm going to guess they thought it was 0.55, but yeah, ain't nobody trying to sell it for that cheap, especially since they've been bought up for all those around there. But anyways, to be honest with you, man, it needed to be done to mitigate manipulation. And that's really the main purpose of the NFTs. Also, it allows you ecosystem airdrops, which is also good too. I know we've been over them before, but if you own, let's just say 3 Rainbow Clouds, 3 NFTs of the second set, and the first token, you'll get a 4 times the airdrop of the second token. Basically, it rewards people for being a part of our ecosystem.
Okay. Okay. So I'm still there. Just change my background really quick. So let me do that. Give me 2 seconds. So with that being said, where did the revenue from the NFTs go? And what happens with the revenue from the secondary of the NFTs?
So I'll touch on the first one first. Where the revenue went with the first set of NFTs. If you were a part of the community, which I know you were, the first NFT set was to reimburse what I had spent on the project and on everything to bring into it. Obviously, it didn't pay back everything because Ethereum took a huge tank at that time. Like things we paid for with a CerTic audit, Skynet, the contract being made, website. I mean, a lot of different stuff, including a few meetings that we had with some large distribution companies, so on and so forth. So I paid for those out of pocket. And then when the project came out and I told people, like, listen, I put this money out, I'd like to recoup it from the NFT set, which I'm still at a loss currently right now because the NFT set, while it was selling out, I didn't sell the Ethereum yet. I had just kept it in Ethereum, and then Ethereum took a major dip. Like it went all the way down to like $800. And it was rough, but we took it on the chin and we kept moving forward. But second NFT set, like the first set, a little bit gets set aside for buyback and burns, along with every NFT set we do. And then the second NFT set will fund stability on the chart. It'll fund partly the second business if it needs any like reserve funds for marketing campaigns, things like that. As a launch of a second business is very expensive. And then also it'll pay back the remainder amount that I need to be paid. Obviously, it was quite expensive, so I'd like to recoup some of that as well, and thus allowing people to have that $103,000 we have already in business revenues set aside. So I gave 30% of the net profits of my first company, which is now equated to $103,000 since we started this whole thing, and that'll be equated to buyback and burns for the project.
Okay, definitely. Okay, so like the breakdown and the transparency of the breakdown also. So
yeah, it's pretty simple. Everybody knew about it at the time. They knew how much money I put out of it. Everybody was aware of the cost we spent on CerTic, other partnerships and things we had done. Everybody in the Telegram, if you were to join and ask any of the questions you're asking, like if you did take that question, you went to Telegram now and asked that same question, community members would be able to respond to you, not admins. Like community members knew what was going on the entire time.
Okay. Well, definitely appreciate you answering that, and I just wanted to kind of give everybody a full breakdown of what the NFTs are, why the NFTs came into play, what kind of went on as far as in the background, as far as the process for people being able to be able to have availability to these NFTs, and just even the different perks and everything as far as airdrops and stuff like that. So I appreciate you explaining that. So when it comes down to the current pre-sale, well, actually, you know what? Let's start before that. Let's go to the private sale. So let's go over the private sale funds and what exactly that's going to be used to execute.
Yep. So private sale funds, as everybody knows, was going to fund wholly the second business. So like I explained to everybody, before we launch a second token, the first token has to be stable. Then we can launch the second token. But we need to get the second business started. So obviously, I'm not going to disclose what business it is. We've already paid out what it needed to be paid, a 50% deposit on the actual company and equipment for it. So with that being said, that fund has been used for that. We do have some of those funds set aside for buyback and burns as well. But alongside that, that's what it was used for. And again, something that everybody knows. And I'd like to touch on one thing.
Sure.
People wanted to know where the money went. When we made the withdrawal, it was actually voted on in the community to move the funds to USDC because we had an equated amount, how much money we needed to generate to create the second business. And we had hit that. But the issue happened was ETH tanked. So we put a vote in the community voting on switching it to USDC. So we switched half the funds to USDC. We left the other half in Ethereum. Ethereum took a pretty big kicker, again, down to like 800 or so. And then it picked back up a bit. Since then we used the USDC that we moved over to pay for the 50% deposit on the company or business too. And obviously to do that, because we're not doing anything in Web3, we're doing everything in Web2. What would need to take place is all money would need to be withdrawn. That money would need to be withdrawn and then sent to a centralized exchange. Then from a centralized exchange, it would need to be sent to a bank account because most Web2 companies don't accept BTC or Ethereum. It's not mass adopted yet. So if you're building a company and I always ask, like, oh, do you guys take Bitcoin? And every time I've asked, it's no. So that would have been great. That would have been awesome, but you can't. It's just not like that anymore. So money had to be withdrawn to a bank account. From the withdrawal from the bank account, then a cashier's check was written and mailed to the company we purchased from. I like to do cashier's checks. I don't like doing transfers or anything like that. When we're talking about US dollar, I want to know that I get a confirmation that they received it and they signed it and it's all done and they cashed,
Okay. So with all of that being said, as far as the revenue from the NFTs and the revenue from the private sale, is there going to be some sort of a paper trail or transparency as far as like for people to go and research if they want to research where some of the funds are going and what's going on with some of the money that's being pulled up? Is there going to be a resource for people to be able to see that in the future, or how is that going to work?
Like, do you mean like access to bank account information?
Well, I guess maybe a report, or maybe not even just a bank account statements. You know what I mean? Just something that documents where the money is going. That investors are like, okay, well, okay, this is a decent amount of money. This is a decent amount of money. Okay, he's saying it's going here, but like visually, some people need to see a visual of, kind of a layout of where the money is going and why it's going there, and a kind of breakdown of the reasoning of what's going where and why.
Yeah, we have our books. I'm not giving out my books. That would screw me in taxes. So, and we do have bank account statements, but again, I'm not gonna let people have that access. No one does that. No company would do that. But they know everything we spent the money on. So essentially, like this business, if I gave the information to where this money was sent to, then they'd know the type of business we're running. And then 3 other tokens would come out, just like it happened with my first project. Literally, there was like 6 nutraceutical companies coming out right after I announced, like literally hours later. And there's like 6 of them out there saying they're creating a nutraceutical company, which you can't just get into and run. It doesn't work like that. You have to have an FDA compliance. There's so much to it. There's a couple like Koa Comment does a really good job. They've made supplements. They're aware of like the FDA regulations. And there's some other projects too that are doing it the right way, right? But obviously they're still startups. So the good thing about our project, and it doesn't make us better than another project, but we have already started. We're in business. We had already been distributing. We had signed a distribution deal that required us to remove our store off Amazon, things like that. Even though Amazon wasn't that great of a revenue source, just because you're fighting with a lot of campaigns from China and in other foreign countries. The nutraceutical game on Amazon is really rough. It's mainly all ingredients from China. Like you can find all the leading like immune boosters on there, and they're all literally from the site called Alibaba. It's nuts. And you can't beat their cost. It's like $2 a bottle.
Yeah, most definitely. So definitely wanted to ask that question for people that may be curious as to where is it going, even though, you're saying it. Some people, like I said, like to see a visual. So I just wanted to
make sure we deliver. And that's the other thing. Like we spent a lot of money on Certic, the Skynet, the KYC. So the money is going places. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to execute anything we're doing. Like when this facility gets built, that the business we're doing now, when the facility gets built, obviously, like it's grossly obvious that we would have had to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to do what we're doing. And when that comes into place and people see that, like, oh, okay, yeah, the money was spent there. So it's stuff we're doing in real life. So it's not like web stuff that we're just like building a play to earn game or something like that. All the stuff we're doing is tangible. It's something you could go and see or order online. It's stuff that's real, that really is there, So it's a little different. It's a business. It's not, just a stock.
Okay.
Or a commodity.
Definitely reasonable. So I definitely respect the answers, and I appreciate you taking those questions on for me. Then we got we go into the pre-sale that we're currently in right now. We got a 500 ETH hard cap, 250 ETH soft cap. So my question with that is so I believe it says on the website that if you guys don't go through the supply that you guys are trying to do for the pink sale, you guys are going to burn that supply. Is that correct?
Yeah. So it's the better way to do it to keep the market cap accurate. So you just burn the rest of the supply that was given up to that. We also chose not to pay pink sale in tokens. You can actually do less funds. So you can do 2% in tokens and 2% in ETH. We chose to give them 5% in ETH because I don't want to give up tokens. We're doing 60% to liquidity and then 40% to buy back and burn. And what people are missing is when we do that, it's going to get us trending on multiple different aspects, and more people should be doing this. Honestly, not everybody's honest, right? So if we look at the grand scheme of things, too many people are getting ripped off. Obviously, I have a lot to lose, so I wouldn't be doing that to people. But essentially, the strategy I'm working with is instead of paying somebody, 10 to 20 grand to get us trending on DEX tools, we could utilize that 40%. We'd be trending on everything because it doesn't just report to one. We could put that 40% in there plus the $103,000 we have from revenue from the company all in at once, which, as you would know, would increase the chart. People would take their profits and it would be healthy. We'd get transaction taxes. We'd buy back the liquidity like we talked about. But this would cause us to trend on multiple platforms, not even including like some of the connections I have with some of the larger exchanges. We'll be listing on those as well. And then the market maker accounts, as I said before, will fund the project as well, which a lot of people don't even know about that. Market maker accounts pay money. So if I make a market, if I give 50 grand, like just for shits and giggles, if you guys don't know this, L Bank currently right now, it ranges to list on their exchange $45,000 to $120,000. That's the range, not including market maker account, which they told me it was 25 and 25. So we need the funds for all those things to operate as well. And we're not just taking it from transaction tax or just selling it in tokens. We're using all the different aspects of our project to bring this money to light. So people have to realize if you're looking to list on 3 or 4 exchanges, it's going to cost you $500,000 to $600,000 to do it. So, and that's USDT, not ETH. They don't charge ETH. It's US dollars. So if we're going to list on 5, 6 exchanges, assume it's $500,000 right there, right out the gate. And with one of the exchanges that we're going to be listing with, it's going to be pretty big. But we need to generate $100,000 just in volume a day to remain on there. So we can list, but we won't stay if we don't stay active. But also to mention, if we continue to press our chart like we're doing, it's like free marketing. So we can spend this money, yes, but now we're on the exchange, open to the users, and then we're open to the feature of top gainer on their exchange.
Right.
Sorry, I'm hyped up now.
No. I love
There's a lot of moving parts. And when somebody high level looks at it like really quick, like a few people on Twitter were looking at a few things, and obviously, like they may, if they jumped in the Telegram, like asked those questions, the questions would have been answered. But let's just take it like this. Let's take it. You don't know me, and I don't know this other individual, and then I see a project doing all this stuff, and I have nothing about anything that they're doing. I just see the contract. Obviously, a red flag is going to come up, like to anybody that's been PTSD from all these rugs and stuff. So for the people that are doing, it's not that they're right or, I mean, some of the information's like grossly inaccurate. Like something that come out said we filled a pre-sale and private sale in like an hour. Dude, it took us months to fill it. It was not that, and we voted on removing the funds from it early because we wanted to not get wrecked. Like
Right.
there's a lot to it, but to have concerns is obviously everybody should have concerns. I do wish it happened a different way and we could have mitigated it, via an actual conversation instead of like Twitter stuff. But I mean,
Yeah.
you
So
can't hate the people that are trying to or trying to expose bad people. You can't hate those people because maybe they're not right 100% of the time, but shit, if they're right even 10% of the time, they just save somebody money. Like there's a lot to it. And yeah, I just and I obviously I'm a big positive person, right? So if you're listening to this and you feel like attacking any of the people that are attacking us, please don't do it. Everybody's got lives. They have families. They have loved ones and things like that. You don't know what they're going through right now at all. So don't attack. There's no need. If they want to attack me, it's okay. I'm a big boy. I can deal with it. It's not a big deal. But for you guys to do it, you shouldn't. One, you should be happy and you should live life without any stress. Obviously that's, not exactly accurate. Everybody has stress, but what I prefer is just if they want to attack, let them attack, and that's it. And I'll address it like this professionally. I'll do it in a nice setting, and that's it.
okay. So I did definitely see a lot of the things that were transpiring today as far as the kind of back and forth as far as Twitter. And I did see some of the different concerns, and I've actually listed a couple of those also. We'll get into those, but I do want to, before I do that, you mentioned a lot of different moving parts within this project. I think one of the bigger moving parts that may be a little bit more complicated to grasp for everybody is the 10 tokens ecosystem. So if you don't mind kind of explaining why you feel like 10 tokens is necessary and why you feel like you can't get the project done with just a single token with the ecosystem that you're trying to create currently.
Okay, so let's look at it like this. How many companies does Coca-Cola own?
A lot.
There you go. Done. Any large corporation, any enterprise, they don't just stay with one aspect. So each one will hit a different aspect in crypto, and each one will hit a different aspect in Web 2. And then they can all align with each other, but it all funnels into the same ecosystem. It's how an enterprise works. It's how a corporation works. The biggest corporations out there own hundreds of companies. So what I thought is, and what I developed is 10 is okay. 10 is sustainable. 10, though people think it's not manageable. Hold on a minute. We're not building anything in Web 3. All of our stuff's Web 2 revenue to Web 3, utilizing cryptocurrency as that, that courier, that facilitator. So for me, when I looked at it, it isn't hard. You can launch a token, keep the chart sustainable. It's all accounting at that point. It's very easy to make the buys and the sells and, strategize essentially. And then the hard part is the building the companies, and that's obviously making a contract and deploying it, easy enough, right? Maintaining it, not that hard. The contract's written. If we need to make changes, we make changes. We roll with the punches. We make sure it's secure. We've got Skynet enabled on Certic. Like we've spent a lot of money on this project. So now here's the kicker. Staking for your own token creates sell pressure. You don't want too much sell pressure on your project. So what we did was we created a second token with the second business so that when you want to stake your first token for real rewards, you'll stake it for the second token. The second token will pay you, and then the business will buy back into the second token. And it'll all be done concurrently, so it's based off of revenue. So how much you're getting paid off your staking and your percentage averages on how much the business generates. So that way, the chart doesn't go into the negative from sell pressure. And then when you want to stake your second token, you'll stake them for the third token. And it'll be the same thing. And once enough is locked up, it becomes stable. And by becoming stable, I mean like those APRs and things like that. It doesn't fluctuate. So even though it's a large ecosystem, and it's an ecosystem, it's not just one thing, it's a whole entire ecosystem. Everything goes in concurrent. So all those market maker accounts, all those NFT platforms, they all fund those individual projects, not a developer. The developers will all be paid in Web2 money, either a paycheck, not in crypto. Right now, we're paying admins in crypto. I'm paying that out of my own pocket. Obviously, we have to pay and donate to our admins. We have to pay, the COO and CTO, though they haven't made a lot of money. They still have taken payment via Ethereum out of my pocket. Even in the start, I paid quite a bit of money out of my own pocket to the admins, graphics, again, website, so on and so forth. Contract, Skynet. Sorry, my voice is getting a little hoarse.
No. I figured it's I heard you getting a little scratchy. I'm like, okay, it's all good.
Yeah.
But now, so my next question would be, so since a system like this is, to me, as far as I know of, unheard of as far as Web3, I don't think there's too much research done as far as the process to go about and do this. So where do you feel like your point is going to be where you feel like the token is sustainable and you want to move to the next token?
It'll be based on the chart and the stability of the first holders. So you have to take into account a couple factors: your private sellers and pre-sellers and their selling habits. If we go through it and the private sellers and pre-sellers don't have poor selling habits, we could launch that second token a little sooner. Maybe within 3 to 4 months after launch, instead of 6 months to 12 months, so on and so forth. But it all depends on where the economy lands, because obviously, if we launch at $1,500 per ETH and it goes down to $800 per ETH, our chart's going to be pretty rough for some time, and we have to wait till it recovers to really realistically launch that second token, unless our chart is still stable at that time, which is okay too. It all comes down to your pairing, how tight you pair it to Ethereum at the time of launch. That really does make a big difference. So yeah, it's never been done, but I mean, all this stuff hasn't been done. Up until last year, there wasn't many altcoins coming out, and then all of a sudden it was 1,000 a week coming out. Yeah. Trying to get on it, take people's money, so on and so forth. The people that thought they could create a business and then found out they couldn't. I'm not saying all projects are bad, obviously, but even small businesses, 99% of all businesses started in the United States of America fail. 99%. It would be the same thing with most cryptos as well, because they're like a startup company. They have taxes. Taxes are used for the business. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, realistically speaking, the tax on our project will go away. We're not going to leave it there. It'll go away when we list on a huge exchange.
Yeah. So okay. So just to expand on that, I guess a little bit more, was there a statistic that you're looking for, market cap, progress as far as percentage, or anything that you're looking for specifically that you've already kind of mapped out and gauged? Okay, this is my mental breaking point. Once we get here, all right, I feel like it's time to kind of transition.
Yeah. So our Ethereum would theoretically have to increase by, our Ethereum and liquidity pool would have to increase by 10% each month for the duration of 6 months. That's because of the amount of private sale and pre-sale tokens. I say 10% because that's how much they get on each one of their wallets. They'll get 10% at launch and 10% over 20 days. So it's about 10 to 12% every 30 days. 10% at 20 days, 12% by the end of the month. By that time, our chart would be extremely stable after everybody's either exited or held onto their bags or staked for something else for the long run. So if our project is sustainable and we've noticed after 3 months that it is not getting a lot of dumping, we have a lot of people that have stayed strong, and the project has a great looking chart and stability and good volume, and we've listed on a couple of exchanges that bring us good market maker account money, and we've grown enough, then let's say we grow 60% in liquidity in, I'd say, 3 months. That moves past the dumping point. Even if everybody dumped their token, even if everybody that held the private sale and pre-sale dumped their tokens, we would still be above our initial liquidity. Right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Man.
Okay. So at that point, we're okay. We're good. We could launch the second one. They're stakeable. That creates even more stability on the first token, allowing more people to come in as they watch the chart go up, so on and so forth.
Okay, so if I have the order correct, we're going to pretty much go from first token to second NFT and then second token launch. from there? Is that how the order goes for the ecosystem as far as to generate revenue, to continue doing things and opening up these new businesses to kind of transfer revenue into the ecosystem? Am I getting that correct? Or
I apologize. I drank my water and I missed what you said.
oh no, 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 you're all good. Don't worry about it. I said so pretty much the breakdown of how the ecosystem would work would it will be first token, then well, I guess we gotta start from the beginning. NFT, first token, then the second NFT comes out, then the second token launch. Is it going to continue in that manner to keep generating revenue to create these new businesses to put back into the ecosystem, or does it vary at any point as far as that?
It's an ever evolving. I can't say it will never, because it's an evolving ecosystem that may change. But as of right now, that is the current plan. Obviously, crypto changes every 15 minutes. So, we're going to roll with the punches and keep moving forward. We may launch second NFT set, before even first token launches, but it doesn't make a difference when we do it. If the art's ready, the art's ready. We'll put it out there and allow it for just the private sale people, or the Genesis Rambo cloud holders, I should say, to get in there. Also, it'll help, mint out the collection and push it forward. You need funds for business. I'm not taking out loans to do this. I didn't take a loan out for my business. I am the 100% sole owner. No one owns it. I own it. I have no loans or any debts to be paid on it. I'm paid up on my taxes. Like, my business is in good standings, all that stuff. So it'd be the same thing. Like when I started my first company, assume this: when you start the company, whatever you paid for your, like, let me give you a good example, without somebody stealing it. And I want to make sure it's not going to be in the ecosystem. Okay. Let's say I'm going to open up a movie theater. It's going to cost me $500,000 for all the equipment. And this is just, obviously, I'm using numbers that are involved in our project. 500 grand just for the equipment. Now, rent, probably 7 grand, assuming, because you need a large square footage, 7 to 10 grand right there a month. Factor in 12 months of that. So let's say it's just 10 grand for shits and giggles. That's $120,000 a year. Assume $60,000 a year in just marketing for the first few months. Why is that? If it's a brick and mortar store and a wholesale company, you need to flood when you come out. Get yourself trending on every single social media platform, TV, internet, even the radio for that matter. And you've got to hit everybody from different channels and hit everybody from their demographics, right? If you're marketing to one area, let's say you're opening up a business in my town, Nashua. Let's say you're opening a business there. And what I would do is I drop a pin where the business is, 5-mile radius from that point, target everybody between this age and this age, depending on my demographic. I'd hit them, but then I'd hit their social medias, and then I hit whoever their favorite radio station is. I would then look up radio stations in the area that have listeners from this demographic and this demographic, so that I can hit my viewers and the people I want on every different aspect, from the ears to the eyes to the mouth, right? And that's what you would do. So in a business, you do the same thing. So let's say we opened up a large franchise, whatever it is, and we come up with assume you need $1 million right out the gate. $1 million if you're going to build a company. And that sounds crazy. And a lot of people do it for a lot less. But if you want to make a multi-million-dollar company, you need $1 million in liquid asset, depending on what you're doing. Real estate, even more. My girlfriend did really well for herself. She made a really good play about 3 years ago with her 2 brothers. She grew up poor as well, but with her 2 brothers, you know what she did? She invested about, I think it was like $250,000. Her and her 2 brothers did the same, and then her mom did the same. They sold the house they lived in, and then they took $1 million and they put it into an apartment complex. They bought one, and they took a loan though, and then they ended up making so much money off of it that they actually made a whole nother one. So they have a whole secondary part. So she is like set. She makes like a stupid amount of money per month just from 2 major apartment complexes in 2 different states, which is pretty incredible. But if you look at it like that, they needed just $1 million to even get started. And that's where money comes from. Instead of taking an SBA loan, paying an interest rate, and doing things like that, if you can stay all liquid without having a simple interest loan over your head, you're doing it so much better. You don't want to owe anything to anybody for any reasons at all. And that includes your car payment and everything. And you know what? My girlfriend has a beautiful X5M. She bought it May I think May this year. And she did a great job. She put some cash down on it, took a loan because it was 1.9 interest rate, but she bought an X5M. That exact car. And I'm proud of her, man. It was her first cool car. She had a, me and her had a Jeep together, and I have a 2018 M3, which I bought. I have no loans on it or anything like that. I love that car. But nothing too crazy. It's a nice, nice vehicle. It wasn't too bad in price for what it is, and she's happy with it. But I got to actually drive it when I went down to the NFT Web3 gallery, because obviously you're not going to take an M3 to New York City and get it destroyed driving through those streets, man. It's crazy. So we took hers, things like self-driving, all this really cool stuff. But I'm really proud of her, that she did all that. So,
Definitely. So I do have a couple more questions. Sorry for all the additional questions there. So
you're good, man.
All right. So the first one would be so do you already have business plans for all of these businesses you plan on opening? Like, do you have the ideas and the like everything already mapped out as far as for each different one?
So it's all what I would say. The four we have are speculative. A couple of them, the second business actually changed for what we're going to do because of the market condition. Market condition changed second business. Second business that was there before will probably be business 4 is my assumption, or 5. But reason being is the economic state. Certain businesses you can't release right now. They'll die. They won't survive no matter how much money you have behind it. It'll just die. So yeah. And then at that point, you need to start by business 2, business 3. You need to start calculating where you're going to dial in business 5, business 6, because the markets change, economy changes, and different things trend. So I'd like to say that, the first 4 are pretty much set in stone. I don't believe that they're going to be negatively impacted by the economy. Only one of them would have been, and that one we'll do later. And it'll be fairly soon when the real estate market crashes. I won't put any more into it, but it is something to do with that. And it is going to be extremely profitable. Well over $1 million a year in revenue.
Awesome. And I definitely, those are some good numbers to hear as far as monthly gross income. I definitely like hearing that. And real quick, before I get into my next question, definitely, if you guys can retweet this room out, tell a friend, tell some more people. There's some pretty good information in here. A lot of people may not know all this information, and I'm trying my best to get an elaborate description of what exactly Bolix token is and the companies that are going to be behind it also. So that brings me into my my next question. So we know the utilities that the first NFT had. So are we already in discussions as far as what the second NFT collection is going to have and so on, or will they be similar to each other as far as like maybe airdrops going along the way, or is the only way we can get airdrops that first NFT?
So they should be identical, because the whole purpose of this was to make it fair for everybody. The only thing that does change is you do have to own that Rambo cloud for the further. And yes, it's his birthday. Tip him, please, for the love of God. Send him a super chat. It's his birthday today, and he's working. Like, think about that right now. He's working right now on his birthday. So if we could send him a tip, that'd be great. I sent him a birthday present earlier. So, and I apologize for deviating. I just saw that. So.
I definitely appreciate it.
So essentially, you'll need that first NFT collection to go through those airdrops. But what that does is it makes the Genesis collection more valuable. If you see, what is that? I see.
You see it dancing?
Yeah.
That's Streamlabs. When I get a super chat, depending on the amount, when it gets higher and higher, it's like a funnier meme that pops up.
That is so fun. Somebody tip him good. Really good. Like, I just want to see that, because I saw one earlier and some dude just like dancing, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Yeah, I didn't know if it was something I said that triggered it, so I was like, what the hell is this right now?
Yeah, it's the different things from subs to different super chat totals.
So our NFTs have done really well for no marketing at all. They've a volume of almost 14 ETH, and our floor is 1x from where it launched at. Wait until the second set comes out, and then people realize the success of the project, and then also they realize the airdrops that can come with it, and all the people that bought extras, they can start selling them for profit as well. It's gonna be really great. And I've got to say, man, it saddens me to see like the different attacks. It makes me sad, because Realistically, you're not hurting me. You're just hurting all the investors, and that's all that's happening. And I don't want to. I don't want anybody to be hurt. I don't
Right.
even want the people attacking me to be hurt. I just want everybody to be friends. You know,
Yeah.
it makes me sad. I just wish everybody could get along. Obviously, they're trying to do their job right, you know, and take care of the community as well. But I mean, it's not hurting me. It's just hurting. That's the one I saw earlier. That is the funniest thing.
Yeah, if
That
you
is
go
the
10, if you go
funniest thing
10,
I've
if
ever
you go 10 and above, yeah, there's that guy. I like to like peeking guys like hilarious, but yeah, it's definitely appreciated the route that you have taken to get things done, man. Like I said, to be going through a process that's this tedious, you go through the wallets as far as NFTs to make sure that there's nobody in there that was habitually dumping on projects and has bad practices as far as taking profits. Trying to get the smaller investors in, the ones that have held and kind of I don't want to say been damaged and or hurt kind of by that, because sometimes that does end up happening. I feel like as far as to your mental state, if you do end up holding a project, it went to astronomical highs and then you see it lower than what you originally put in at some point, or you know what I mean, you lose it all together. It is a bit difficult to still want to push forward past that. So definitely
It's
appreciate
not
it.
pretty. And when people look at it, they immediately don't want to invest if they see it do so bad. They think it's dead. So you have to make sure your chart looks good for further investors.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Because if I come in and your project is already under launch price and it just launched a couple of days ago, that's to me that's not an entry point to me, because there was
No.
no real progress as far as an uptrend. It pumped and then it dumped. You know what I mean? That's pretty much the definition of that. So that I like to pay attention to the chart and also the team and the logistics of what their plan is, just because there are a lot of people that have plans, but there are so many different plans out there. I'm kind of tired of the plan not going the way it's supposed to, and sorry being the answer to it, rather than people being able to recuperate any type of revenue from what happened. So
Yeah, it's
that's
true. And you have to make it look pretty.
yeah. So that's definitely a big thing. So I appreciate that. So pretty much you're saying that the NFT utilities would be pretty much the same. So does it flip once we get into the third NFT? Because I know you need the first NFT and the second NFT and some of the first token to be incorporated into the airdrop. So does it go third NFT and then fourth NFT to incorporate into the next airdrop for the next token, or is there
No, it's the whole thing. You have to own that first one.
so you have to own that first one, and
Have to.
therefore, is there going to be a variation once you guys come out with different NFTs as to how you get airdrops to the next one? Like, is there going to be additional qualifications, or if you just own that first NFT, that second NFT, and some of the first token, you just qualify for all the airdrops?
Well, you have to own the third NFT and third token, fourth NFT and fourth token. To get all of them, you have to go in concurrent. So if you own NFT one, NFT two, you get you get token two. If you own and tokens, obviously. I'm just going to do NFTs, so we're not going to talk about you owning tokens.
Okay.
NFT one, token, NFT two, get token two. NFT three, own NFT one, token two, NFT two, and NFT three, get the airdrop of token three, and so on and so forth as you go down the list. And it creates a build structure on it as you go up. So like on this next NFT set, there's going to be a little bit more NFTs than there was in the original. Why? Because we need to create FOMO. So more people have to own it, realize what they can do, and go back and buy the first ones.
Okay, I'll get what you're saying as far as that. So create the demand for the first NFT using the second one. Definitely smart. I like that idea there. So
It gives people an opportunity to, if they need abrupt money, they can retail it if somebody needs it. So let's say the floor goes up to like 10, 15 ETH because, it's getting close to, the third NFT launch, and people want it for the third token. People are going to want that first one. And let's see that individual, they've made good money and they could use that 10 ETH for something else. They could sell one and they'd still do pretty well for the rest of them.
Okay. So that brings me to another question, just because I'm brainstorming here. So let's just say hypothetically it does go up to like 10, 15 ETH, like you said, which to some people that will make the first NFT unobtainable. What will cause the demand for smaller retail investors or people to come in and buy NFT 2 and 3 if the first one's already pretty much unaccessible, and that's how you get the airdrop?
Well, that's to be determined. I mean, they got to look at the ultra rares they can get from the NFT collections, and there's going to be people that sell it for cheaper and people that bid for higher. There's going to be people that make money on the first token. Like, there's a lot of different factors to it. There'll be giveaways and things like that. Like, I'll be buying and giving away some. There's always different ways to get that first one. But as that ETH price drives up, it's the same thing when you're talking like Bored Ape Yacht Club and things like that. When they get to crazy prices, people are still buying and trading them.
Yeah.
Then you're trading on a whole different, you're trending on a whole different platform. People are seeing that and they want to be a part of it.
Yeah, but I've noticed that sometimes it adds a demand for the first one as it is that higher end one, because it's the one that you need for all of the airdrops. If you don't have the first NFT, you're pretty much shot on all of the airdrops. So that makes that the rarest collection, period. You know what I mean? So
And that's the way it should be. But we're always not opposed to voting on it later. If the Genesis collection, if those people will have voting rights, if they want to open up the floor for like a specialty, and we were going to offer like a specialty collection of like a limited 200, we might do something like that, to not the same degree, but that'll be voted on by the Genesis holders. They have the rights to that. They were here first. They were the ones that supported us. And I'll give them all the details and stuff. Just like we voted on removing the Ethereum, from the private sale and put it to USDC. Just like we pretty much voting on the vesting period. I mean, literally, we voted on most of the stuff that's applicable. We voted on the vesting period. We voted on removing the ETH. We voted on everything. We voted on the board of directors.
hey, I'm definitely not mad at that. There will be additional giveaways, surprises with the NFTs, as long as I think to correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, she's right. There's more to it than just that. There's giveaways, there's airdrops, there's so much different stuff. It's not just airdrops. You have a set allotted what airdrops you're going to get. That doesn't mean there's not going to be airdrops, as like Easter eggs and things like that, which are really cool.
Okay, so that's cool. So I like the breakdown that you did with the 10 token ecosystem and why you did it. You gave me a more than reasonable answer. I mean, pretty much it's what the big boys do and how they're successful and how they continue to make large sums of money hand over fist, more or less, because they come up with a good strategy where they pretty much have an ecosystem to where this money feeds this money, this business feeds this business, and I continue to make money off of money. You know what I mean? I feel like that's how it's supposed to go.
Like when, let's say Coca-Cola, not the entity, but let's say the brand itself isn't having a good fiscal year, right? They can pull money from another asset to help it with marketing. It's all self-sustainable. All those businesses working concurrent. If anybody's, actually had a real career, like, and I mean it like in the corporate world, at like in New York, I know Jet Up Crypto. He works for a large company there. All of those companies, if you've had that experience, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They literally, I call it rob Peter to pay Paul, right? So they take it from one business to put it into another business to make it sustain. So it's the same thing. Not everything is going to be profitable all of the time. But if you create multiple different businesses, one's going to be profitable and one might not be. But that profitable project my profitable business might be able to sustain the negative deficit on the other one. So it keeps us concurrent and floating. There's so much more to it than people can possibly imagine. But that is super high level. And I know it makes sense. I said it and I know it makes sense because it does. If you look at it like anybody looks at it, if you have one business and has 6 shitty months, you might go out of business. But if you have 3 businesses or 10 businesses and 9 of them are doing well and 3 of them aren't doing good, you can sustain marketing measures to bump those up, to get those back trending again, to do like you could do like a brainstorm group. You could do a corporate business session. You could hire even a third-party company, marketing company, to come in and revamp the whole division and rebrand it. Like, you can do so much stuff with money. If you don't have any, you can't do anything. That's why that big saying, it takes money to make money. And that's a fact. You can't do anything without money in this world.
Definitely. So, my next question, we're gonna dig into some of the concerns we looked at that we haven't already covered as of right this second. And if anybody has any questions, concerns, anything that you would like to hear in the chat, please feel free to go ahead and throw your question up there. I will definitely ask that. And it doesn't matter what the question is. We'll go ahead and get it hashed out now while we got our boy CryptoBolix here ready to answer some questions. Hopefully his voice is still with us. We don't want to wear him down too much.
I'm all right. I had a long meeting earlier today at 10. It was rough. I talked for like 2 hours straight.
Okay, so with the NFT collection one more time, do you feel like you priced those at a fair price?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it comes with airdrops. I mean, you have to have a premium to it. I mean, what is it? Like at the time they were selling, it was like $300. That's not a bad price to come
Definitely.
into an ecosystem. And you know, I don't see that as a bad price. It's all relative. I mean, what's expensive and what's not expensive? You could buy. I mean, that's crazy because okay, Bored Ape Yacht Club. That's expensive. My price is not 0.15 ETH is not expensive at all, especially since they've 1x'd. So anybody who bought them made double their money.
Yeah.
And actually, it was up to like 0.3 something and some change, and they were still getting bought over 1x. So, I mean, realistically speaking, if everybody sold right now, they'd still be in a good position. They already doubled their money. So I also look at it like that. And it's selling at that. So not double their money because we listed them at a fake floor. They're retailing at this price. They're retailing at a profit. Everything that has been sold besides one, which I definitely think was a mistake.
Probably compromised wallet.
Yeah, 0.055 ETH. I mean, they could, and they were all they could have sold it at 0.1 or 0.12, and they were all selling right now.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the next concern that I saw that we have not mentioned. Yes. How much of the supply are you in control of?
I mean, literally everything. I mean, you should be in control of that. If I wasn't in control of it, then who's in control of it? I mean, literally, okay, with a company, the owner's in control of the money, right? No employee walks up to an owner and goes, how much do you own? How much of this business asset do you own? Well, that's for his discretion. If he thinks he needs to put $60,000 in marketing, then he's going to do it. Obviously, that's not what I'm talking about here. But with our wallets and how we have them set up, yeah, no one looked past the contract to see that it's in two wallets. It's not. It's spread across multiple wallets that are literally listed at what they are. So yeah, if you went to the contract and looked at it like that, I could see that. But they're all vested in a multi-contract inside a pink sale. So if individuals would take just a little bit more time to look on pink sale, they can see that each one is broken up. It's not just split between two wallets. The deployer wallet, I think, holds like 6.9, and like 3% of that's already gone to the private sale investors. So there'll be like 3% left over. That's it. No devs get a wallet. The other stuff will be used for centralized exchanges and staking and all the other things we have. I mean, literally, you can go here and see. You scroll down a little bit more. A little bit. Right there. Those are all the wallets. It's not just two wallets. If you literally look at it right now, you have a wallet for one that's going to be for liquidity, one for staking rewards, future business and centralized exchanges. There's reserves, liquidity pool. So that'll function into any liquidity pool that we decide to do in the future. Future business equity, business developmental growth, ecosystem, NFT drop, ultra rare miscellaneous, which ultra rares get the airdrops, business to business, any type of business to business that we try to do with POS systems and stuff like that. Is there any more? Well, now, and unlocked that 6.9%, which 3% of that goes to the private sale. So there's only really 3% that doesn't have a designated spot. And that's solely because we don't have an asset for it yet. And maybe we will in the future, but the equated business structure and business model that we have, this is what we need at the current time. If we need the extra 3% later, then we'll use it.
Okay. Which makes complete sense. But as it was a situation that was brought up, I definitely wanted you to be able to verbally address that. You know what I mean? You know how Twitter gets sometimes. So
And the
We all
contract, just to be clear, the contract was deployed on a multi-signature wallet. It has one community member that needs to be a part of it, which was voted into position, and one admin or CTO or CEO, and then myself. So it's a 3-2 multi-signature wallet that needs to be there. So if there was a crime that was going to be committed, it would need to be multiple people, not just one, which is no one's going to just do that. That's crazy. I don't know. It just, is somebody going to be that bad? I mean, I'm going to do it blatantly. I know blockchain pretty well. If I was going to hide something, I could hide it. I wouldn't just do it like this. I'm doing it like this is just because this is how it's going to be. That's it. That's it. It's out in the open, out in the books. If I wanted to hide it, I would have did small transfers to a bunch of different wallets that no one would know about after launch. That's what I would have did if I wanted to be malicious, which is what a bunch of tokens did. And that's how they actually drained liquidity. And they did it without even being called a rug pull. So that's what I would have did. I didn't do it that way. I listed them all here, what they are. You can attach all wallet addresses for what they are to those. If you click each individual one, I bet you can find that wallet address it's going to go to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all noted. It's all here for everybody to see. So if I go and do that, hold me legally liable then. If we don't have a real, like,
as you did a KYC with Certic.
Yeah. Like, I paid a fee for them to freaking sue me if I rug this project. I'm not doing anything malicious here. And it should be noted, I paid for a Certic audit before we even deployed the contract. We fixed everything before it needed to be deployed. The 3 major findings that they have were solely because we're not revoked. And you can't revoke a contract these days. And I've even said this before, if you revoke it, what if cryptocurrency and Ethereum changes? What if that merger changes how your structure works, right?
Yeah.
You don't know until something happens. You need to be able to make modifications. So.
Okay. So I just got 3 more questions, and then I know unless you had something else that you wanted to say after that, we're all good. We may be able to slide into those giveaways there. And also, let me go ahead. Let me knock the questions out first. So, how do you feel about, and what was your thought process as far as the vesting system? I'm pretty sure that was voted on also, as a lot of the things were community based, as it does stretch out about 180 days.
Yeah, it's voted on. I mean, the community voted. They thought. I mean, I would definitely agree with what was voted on. You know, we gave them multiple different vesting periods, and this is the one that was ended up coming up to what it was voted by the board of directors as well. So it not just only passed the Telegram, it moved into the board of directors as well after the fact, just to confirm. And it was all confirmed. Everybody wanted the same exact thing over 20 days. We went with 20 instead of 25 and 2022, I think there was, and 18. We want to make it as community-based as possible, but also still keep that business structure. Obviously, consumers run a company because they buy all the products, but only to a certain degree. The business knows how to market, so we have to make sure that we market to the right people. If we give everybody their tokens at launch and they all dump and they all make money, great. But then where do we stand in 6 months from now? Nowhere. If they sell everything, they're the liquidity. It's gone.
All right.
So that's why you have to do it like this. So we can build in that time, and then they can sell and build and sell and build and sell. That's what you do.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And
but can I ask you, Siri, does it make sense?
The vesting period?
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it stops people from having the inkling of beginning to take profits bad. You know what I mean? Because
let me ask you a question. Let me put you on the flip side. If you were going to invest in a project and you know that there was a private sale, are you going to buy at launch if they get all their tokens at launch?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
No. I'm not. Would I depending on the project and the what they're coming out with, would I possibly swing trade the hell out of it? Probably, depending on the volatility of the project.
I would swing. Well, not really. I wouldn't swing trade it because most of the time there's too high in fees in the buys and in and out. 15%, like even ours is high. 15% buy in and out. That's high. I think that's high. I set it high because the people that are selling will stabilize. That's why it's 10%. They're literally going to stabilize the project. So it's air stabilizing itself, and that's the big picture.
Definitely. Definitely. But yeah, I definitely get that concept. If everybody's getting all of their, I've seen multiple live charts, like multiple of them. They do a pre-sale, it's a large pre-sale. None of the tokens are vested. The price looks like it's going to be okay because most people don't understand that when there's a pre-sale, there's going to be a huge green candle right there at the beginning, and it starts to shrink down. Once it starts to shrink down and kind of drain majority of the liquidity, you might see a little bit of a pump, and you kind of see a sideways trade, or it continues to go down. So it's
I would be doing a disservice to new people that come into the project if I allowed everybody to get their tokens at launch. And the community even agreed with it, and they voted on it and picked it. But it would be a disservice. I would hate to have somebody that decides to make what do they call it? Like a jeet, like they jump right in.
Yeah.
So they jump right into the project, and then all of a sudden a pre-seller or a private seller sells on them and dumps on them, and then they're stuck in that position. It just puts a negative mindset in. That'd be terrible. I don't even like that. So why not just do it the right way? I watched it happen with a really good project, and they had a hard time recovering after. Actually, I don't even think they did. But they had a bunch of private sellers and pre-sellers, and they all dumped super hard, like wrecked the chart, destroyed it, and it was doing really well. But yeah, that's what happens. If we spread it out over time, the dumps will be there, but they won't be as big. And they'll be much smaller, much more manageable, that we can use the business revenue, the market maker accounts, and the secondary NFT sales to mitigate all that stuff.
Yeah, multiple different revenue that you can pull from to kind of handle that situation.
Correct.
Definitely, like I said, I'm a big fan of that portion of it. Most people are not going to like it, one, because it's half a year. Most people don't want to hear that half a year your money's going to be locked up and you're going to be getting small portions of it. But if you do take profits responsibly and the launch goes well, you have more than enough opportunities to take a little bit of profits. Then you keep getting more as you go. You know what I mean? It's like you look at your bag a little bit different when this is all you have, and you kind of managing yourself to kind of take responsible profits. So I feel like that actually kind of helps a little bit as far as to teach better habits.
Yep.
So that's me. And the last question that I had, and I actually saw one inside of the chat that I guess if you want to, we can go ahead and address it also. But the revenue that has been generated so far between the private sale, pre-sale, NFTs, is all of that currently used, and we're waiting to generate more money, or
no, we have quite a bit still set aside. Only 50% of the business was paid. I was reimbursed very little because the market dropped for what I had put in. So, there's a lot of money still sitting there. Plus the $103,000 that we have in USD from the company. And, just so everybody knows, we do good online business. We do even better distribution. Like, we make a lot of money with our distribution. So, that's the biggest factor of our company that's there. All online companies typically make more money with their distribution deals. Let's just say you have 100 stores and each one of them stocks, 5 of each product, right? That's generally, it's 5 to 8. So let's say they take 5 of each product and they pay 50% on the dollar. So let's say your product's selling for $50 and you're going to sell it to them for 25, and they'll sell it for 50 and make a $25 markup, right? And now each place takes, 5 products of all, like, let's say our 5, let's just say 5 products, because we have 8, but or 7, but let's just say 5, just 5 and 5. So if they take 5 at 25 times, 5 at 25 at 5 times 100, son of a bitch. Yeah, that's $62,500 per month. Just from that. That's from that little amount. So, yeah. There's a lot of money to be made in distribution. Wait until everything's finalized with this other deal. Put us in 10,000 stores.
Okay.
Then it's even bigger. Right now, it's a very good company, but it can be so much better.
Okay, 10-4. So definitely appreciate you asking all of the asking answering all of the questions. The only other one that I saw inside of the chat was this question by MBK. And
Where'd it
ended
go?
up dropping it down. Sorry about that.
So to remain profitable would be the next step. That's what you do. Once you reach that point, you remain profitable. You keep all businesses in place. Obviously, what'll happen is you'll reach a point where you'll want to retail some of the companies, and then you take the profit from that retail, divvy a portion to the buyback and burn it to the ecosystem. But then you build another company, because not everything stays alive for whatever you're doing. Not every not every business will be super profitable forever. So you have to move with things. So there's going to be some businesses that'll start and they'll be profitable for the next 5 to 10 years. But then at 5 to 10 years, we want to retail it at year 7 or 8 before it dips down, because we're watching what it's going to do, and we sell it, retail it for a profit, and then move to a different aspect in 10 years. Um, you just basically maintain. You keep it. I mean, look at all the great stocks that are out there and the great corporations that are doing. They just maintain their business and grow every year. That's your purpose, to grow. Let's build revenue. Good question, though. That was a kick-ass question.
Love it. Love it. Not seeing any other questions in the chat. And
I'm trying
I
to
feel
see
like
if I have any here as well.
have grilled you a bit.
Yeah, it was really good. So I don't know if I addressed this, but there was a question about sending centralized exchanges money to central. Yeah, that's the only
Yeah,
way
you
you can
did.
get it. I did say that.
Yeah, you vote on to exchange it to USDC.
Also, we didn't on the private sale, private pre-sale. We didn't raise 300 ETH. We raised like 276, and it wasn't done in an hour. It took months. So you can even see that on the blockchain, right there. I have it up. The first withdrawal was 86 days ago, which equates to, I think it was the 22nd of June. Yeah, and then to equate like revenue to purchases on personal things, my girlfriend's car was purchased a month before that, so it's not viable, and it wasn't purchased in cash. 1.9% interest rate. You shitting me right now? That's like playing with cash. That's fun. That's funny money. You could take your 100 grand, put it in anything, and make that back. You could probably pay for your car in crypto if you're making trades with that $100,000, which she is. But yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to hit every aspect. Much respect for everybody out there and what they do, but I mean, simple questions could be answered in the Telegram, and not the ways that not the ways that happened.
Most definitely.
Do you think that I answered all the questions to a high level of degree?
I feel like you did. I feel like we got really in depth as far as the businesses, the ecosystem, why you did it, what it's
Can
going to
we
do to
ask the
benefit
chat?
investors. Yeah, of
So
course. What do you think, chat?
Chat, what do you think? Do you think that all of the questions that were asked here, do you think I answered them in a suitable manner? Was it enough for you? Was it enough data? Did it make sense? If it didn't make sense, say no. And then the question, it's not FUD. I don't consider any of this stuff FUD. And if you're watching this, no. There, like even like Alpha Bolix isn't in my local area. Like we're across the country and in 2 other countries, Lebanon and the UK. So we're probably, depending on what way we go, we may just build our own platform. It's pretty easy. It's not that hard. So we might build our own staking platform, or we may use somebody, to integrate with their community to help people. I just like to be in control of my own things. So maybe not. But yes, also, if you're watching this and you leave a comment, just, leave your comment, and Cuffin will, if any of these answers aren't suffice, just have them, reach out in the Telegram, reach out via DM on Twitter. We're reachable. Jcraft on Twitter, and myself, Jason on Twitter. We're here for everybody. Any question that's asked, I mean, there's no need not to ask. It's not I mean, yeah, we have answers to everything. Just a little conversation would probably have mitigated a lot of the stuff that happened today. It, it is what it is.
Definitely.
How many people were in the live stream today?
It varied. We get all the way up to, I think the top was about 45 or so for a little
That's
bit, and
awesome
it's
for a
even
live
started back
stream.
and forth.
That's awesome for a live stream. And I hope some of the people that were in those conversations today on Twitter realize that you don't need to attack. Please remember, you do not need to defend us. It's not your job. Not your job at all. You don't know what those people are going through. You don't know their life and their home life. Just leave it alone. I'll address it just like we did. Here it is. That's all the information. I touched on pretty much every point, even the poor business metrics that were brought up. It's not the case. We do very well. And business metrics are not visible. You can find literally, you can look up how much money Alpha Bolix makes, and it literally tells you just a little bit less than $5 million a year. That's gross. That's not net. That's gross. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, that
There is
is
a
gross.
lot of cost. We do well, but that is not an accurate figure. That's gross revenue. It's like just
Yeah,
under 5 million.
that's called the right type of
Yeah,
revenue.
actually, let me
Gross.
see if I can Google it. Yeah, zoominfo.com. Revenue just under 5 million. So here, pull up my. How do I do this?
Just share screen, and I can pull it up.
That's it. And then top competitors down here. And this was actually the withdraw I wanted to show people. That was the very first withdraw. This one was not a withdraw. If you look at it, it was just the initial one when we first got launched. It was like 0.001 ETH to make sure it functioned. That was the test. And then here's the contract here. Click into this. You can see 219 ETH was withdrawn on this day. ETH price at that time was what was it say 1,048. So it was literally $219,000. That was it. And then pulled out here 1,700. Pulled out here 1,575. But yeah, I just figured I'd show that up. That's it.
No problem.
Nothing is a secret. You just Google Alpha Bolix and you can find all your information. Like to say the company, I mean, you can literally look stuff up online and find it. I wonder what else I can find online. Let me see.
Like you can find pretty much anything online if you're
I
willing
know.
to sit and look for it. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely feeling like this was a very productive stream. Like I said, deep dive into a lot of everything, covered some different concerns people had due to a little bit of lack of research, maybe, you know what I mean? So hopefully this video does help some people. There also is a really awesome AMA, guys, on this channel also. Which that Joker almost got about I think like either like 7 or 8K views, man. I was like, okay. So definitely did pretty well. So
Yeah, it
check it
was
out.
fun. Sorry, I'm just trying to find more stuff. Oops. All right. Oh, that's it. I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you drunk like the whole jug. It's gone.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom, man. But it was good. It was a good space. I mean, everything's online. Literally a quick Google search. You'll find the registered address at the time I registered at, so on and so forth. You can see my filings. I was going to retail the company, so I never changed the address on it, which is just a form, and I don't really feel like doing it anyways. But yeah, I don't care, home address or not. I own actually more than one, so
awesome. Okay. So, did you still want to do the giveaway also?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. How did you want to do it? Did you want to do it for the people that's just in here, or did you want to tweet, or how did you want to do
However you want to do it is, I'll tell you what. I'm going to close my camera so I can be with you guys just a little bit longer. I want to pull me down so I can go.
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks.
All right, so let me set this up, and I'll get this situated. Give me 2 seconds. Like I'm way too big, right? Okay, that's bam. All right, now I'm too little, but it's okay. Give me 2 seconds. Let me set up this giveaway. So what we're gonna do is, just because I feel like it's a small, quaint, we're not even really small, medium quaint group. I want the people who are here to actually were able to hear the information to be able to benefit. So to in-houser. And this is going to be our giveaway. So hashtag Bolix in the chat, and that's how we'll do our first giveaway. And let's get them back up. Bang.
All right. Whew.
All right. So I got them hashtagging Bolix right now for the first one to knock it out.
I
I feel like since they sat through this and they remained, because this crowd's pretty much remained the same number the same time. It's just been more people added, people leaving in and out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like we should definitely give it to people who stood by, listed the information, support the community.
Oh, I'm tired now. I'm all tuckered out. It's 7:18. It's time for my milk and bedtime. Oh, and for anybody that's concerned, I did get a new phone. So I got a new phone. We're all good. That's my daughter and my kitties. Can you see it? Come on. Boom. That's my daughter and my kitties. Up. Boom.
All right, I might get froze as soon as they try. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually why I'm about to. I'm gonna start using StreamYard for a little bit. I can add people without using StreamYard. I found out I'm just gonna use Streamlabs. It does not lag like that.
Really?
Yep.
Let me go on my new phone here. It is weird though, because they got like this weird thing up here. I don't know. It's definitely different. The picture quality looks really cool. Let me take a picture of you. No, I'm just kidding.
That ran up quick. There's 39 people in here, and there's 45 people entered.
How's that possible? I'm gonna guess that YouTube doesn't give the correct amount of people in here.
It could be.
Oh, there's ghosts for sure.
Could be, because I was literally, it was still going up. I'm like, okay, 39, but it says 46 and it's still moving. Okay, never mind. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and run this one and see who our first lucky winner is. Because you're doing two for 100, right? Is it?
Yes.
Or are you doing one for? Okay, cool.
And if you get the ETH address, just reach out to JCraft inside the TG, and unless you want me to get the ETH address, and then we can have JCraft do it.
It's okay. I don't mind taking it down.
48 now, and there's 36 people in here.
How? Well, it says 43 on my screen.
I said 48 on this thing right here.
Oh, this is crazy. Okay, well, maybe it is a bit delayed. So we got our first winner.
Woo!
Write down his name. And how do you what do you want to be point of contact? I guess they can hit me up on Twitter, I guess.
Yeah, you could do that, or JCraft, if you want to put your Twitter handle in there, they can reach out to you too.
That would be, I mean, that kind of mitigates. If he is in the chat. If you want to drop your Twitter handle, I'll put it up on the screen so you can reach out. And then we can redraw and get our second one directly after.
Okay.
And that person said, "Hey," because I know you're ready for that warm glass of milk, some chocolate chip cookies, and perhaps a UFC with me. You never know. So let's
beat the shit out of you. So don't even mess around. I bought, if you guys don't know, I bought Cuff and the Dip, a video game, UFC 4, and tonight when we put the little ones to bed and we relax late night, I'm gonna kick the shit out of him on UFC 4.
I just don't see it happening, but he has high hopes, and I'm not mad at him.
I am not gonna lie to you. He's gonna hate his life after I put the pow pow and bang bang on him. So I'm super competitive. I hope I'm gonna be like yelling at you and shit. It's gonna be great.
Man, I'm completely ready for that, because you have to yell from on your back, so it's cool.
Yep.
Where is, did JCraft put that on there? I don't think he put the his Twitter handle.
He probably doesn't want to put that there.
He's like,
It's
Like,
on
you're not gonna use-
Xbox. Hold on, who said that? PS5. So it's on Xbox, Daniel. I'm playing it on Xbox. My brother has Xbox, so I bought an Xbox just so I could play with him.
Yeah, Xboxes are good.
It's
Like,
usually late night, so just be prepared. It's my unwind before bed. So if you are going to be, actually, you guys are probably in different time zones. It's late for me.
well, I'm not saying J Crash. I'll write down this name. All right, and just hit me up on Twitter if you can. Nazam, if you can drop your Twitter handle, so it'll be a little bit. Oh, hey, bam, there you are. Well, if you can drop your Twitter handle, that'll be great, J Crafts, and then we can do it like that. I'll just be sending it to you anyway. He says DM me proof and TG. So yeah, so you gotta just reach out to me. If you drop your if you can, Nazam, drop your Twitter handle in the chat so that I can know that it is you rather than have to give like a password or something like that. Let me run the last one really quick. Good luck, everybody.
All right. Let's go.
I'm guessing you're a fan.
She's a great individual. Those are her two puppies, Kai and Mika.
Okay.
And I always call her Kai and Mika. And she's like, those are my dogs. I'm like, I know, but that's what I know.
I love it. It's like it's all I know. It's all I know.
She's a good part of our community.
Awesome. So we got 2 winners, and congratulations to those 2 winners. Reach out to me at my Twitter.
Twitter.
Hey, look, hey, I didn't know it did that.
Yeah, every time I went to your page today to harass you. What? I'm actually going to go to your Twitter page right now.
I didn't know that it just like does it throw balloons at everybody?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How polite. But yeah, this is my Twitter account. So definitely hit me up in the DM. If you can, Kai Mika, if you can drop your, I don't know if that's your Twitter account name also or not. But it'll make it a little bit easier so I don't have people trying to pretend to be you. You know what I mean? Because it happens. But other than that, I don't see Nazam. Did you drop the your Twitter handle in the chat for me so I can grab that really quick? And I think we're all good here.
Damn it! Does that not work? Stupid phone.
What I missed?
I was trying to harass you.
I know, Kai. All right, cool. That saves me a trip.
Yeah, it's very easy. Everyone knows her.
Please check. Well, what's your Twitter handle? Like I said, people do try to scam people. I just want to make sure that you do receive your winnings. That's it.
Hey, Cuff, I sent you a tweet. Please refresh your notification.
Oh my God! Not as about to be a Catalina wine mixer.
It's about to be a Catalina wine mixer.
Let's do it. Well, J Craft said he knows who you are, so you are all good. The only person I need to I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it. Your actual Twitter handle. I almost said Kazam. That's not the name. Nazam.
Kazam? Did you really almost do that?
I almost did.
You know that movie?
Damn, there it is. Yeah, I don't know.
With Shaq?
I definitely remember it. I just don't know how I feel about it right now. All right. Okay, so I got that at handle, and the other one is going to be taken care of by J Crafts. And I think we're all set. Did you want to say anything else before we got on out of here?
I do.
What's going on? What's going on?
Thank you all for taking time out of your day. Time is obviously the most precious traded commodity. And just remember that we're experiencing time at the same time, and that you don't know what somebody else is going through. You don't know the struggle. So, treat everybody respectfully. I love you guys and gals. I love you guys and gals and whatever else that it may. I love everybody.
Awesome.
to be PC. I love everybody. I'm not trying to get canceled right now. I love everyone that has a heartbeat.
There we go.
Okay.
Love it.
And I hope to see you as a part of our community.
Most definitely.
And thank you, Cuffing the Dip, for having me on. You asked some tough questions. I'm not going to lie to you. You put me sideways because you're usually really nice, and this time you tried to beat the crap out of me. Too bad you got knocked out. Pow pow. And that's it. I had to leave it with some jokes tonight.
Love it.
And if anybody wants to watch me beat the crap out of Cuffing the Dip on a live stream on UFC, we may end up doing that.
I might drop my if we do it tonight for sure. I will go live on Twitch. You guys can actually watch. How about that?
Do it. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
Hey, and it will be on Twitch, guys, if that actually does happen. Or if CryptoBolix does wake up and make it to the game, because that sounds like a dream, we're gonna see an actual fight.
Oh, I will snuff you out, brother.
We shall see.
Yeah, well, we'll find out real quick. This is DGen Derek now. I've moved down to DGen Derek, and now I'm like, it's 7:30. That's way past when are you planning on playing this game, by the way? Because it's super late. Like 7:30 p.m. It's dark out.
I'm open to whatever. I actually gotta go check and make sure to download it.
Well, hurry up.
Most definitely. Well, let's go ahead and end this here then, guys. This has been a good one. Had CryptoBolix on Q&A, went through everything. Definitely got some good answers, and definitely tell a friend about the answers that are in this video if they are curious about any of them. Other than that, you guys know my spiel. Keep cuffing that dip. Look for good support levels, and always remember it is beyond crypto, guys. Get outside, enjoy the air, go on a date. It is definitely more than crypto out there, guys. So you enjoy your night, evening, wherever you guys are. We're out of here.
Peace.